Hey, man. Let me ask you, bro. Now, you said you only did 1 year of high school.
Yeah, full
How
year
did
high school.
how did that? What was that about?
Well, just being in and out of juvenile halls and shit, and also getting,
Oh,
getting kicked out of schools because the original high school was Narbonne High, and that was dead smack in the middle of what we would call enemy territory. You know, what I mean, that was their school.
mm,
You know, what I mean, so me purposely, like I ended up getting myself kicked out, even though I violated my probation too. You know, what I mean, but it was one of them
uh,
things where I can't be at this fucking school. You know, what I
right.
mean, and so after that, they right before like they actually got released, they ended up in a placement program, and that's the reason why to this day I got so many homies from different neighborhoods because all the time that was spent. And there was a school in I think it's a daycare or it might be an elementary now, but it was right there on 147th and Cerise, right there in Hawthorne,
Mm-hmm.
and it was called Jonas Salk CDC, and that's pretty much where they sent kids on probation. That was pretty much the last stop. Like if you fuck up here, you're going into the YA or you're getting stretched out till you fucking finish your probation or you to return 18 or turn 25. And that school, they used to bus us from our placement homes to that school. And from there, you know what I mean? I was just happy to be around, to be honest, just be basically around my own kind. Like, and not skin color wise, but just motherfuckers that come from
Yeah,
the same environment.
right.
You know what I mean? And there was dudes in there from Denver Lanes and from Grape Street and from Insane and just dudes pretty much from everywhere. And then that's what kind of made me kind of like school a little more. So at that point, that's when it was like, you know what, like I'm gonna do this, and I didn't realize that the probation and my caseworkers were actually watching me as far as how I was conducting myself. They took it as okay, he's reforming, like he's being a better him. In reality, it's like I'm in my jungle now. Like this is my habitat. You know what I
Understood.
mean?
Righteous.
I, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm acting the way I'm acting
You more
because
comfortable there.
I'm around my own kind. Yeah,
Right.
like we are all the same kind of animals and shit. We just different, might be a little darker fur and shit, or lighter fur, but we're the same fucking animal in this bitch. You know what I mean? So when they threw me back in, basically in the real world, that's when I ended up in Gardena. And there, I started catching phase left and right, catching fights left and right. The Mexicans didn't like me, but the black, like I told you, the black dudes like me though. You know what I mean? That makes no fucking sense.
That was that. Now that had to be experience right there. Do you think the Mexicans didn't like you because they felt some type of way about you dealing with the blacks, or what was it?
I think it had to do with that, a lot to do with that, because at that particular time, that's Gardena High, and
Mm,
and you got Gardena 13.
yeah.
That's basically Gardena 13 school. But yeah, you got I swear to God, they had at least like 20, like maybe about. That's the reason why, because I was there with Tiger when I was a senior. Tiger was like a ninth grader, and Tiger. That's the reason why Tiger claims Hoovers, because he was hanging with the Hoovers.
At
You know what I mean? And
Gardena, and you talking about Tiger the
Gardena,
rapper, right?
he had a cool little Tiger the rapper, Michael. I can't think of his last name, but his mom used to. Hey, this is world. Maybe I shouldn't say this shit. I'm gonna say this though. I'm my mama's mother. Look, I swear I'm gonna have to say this though. But
Uh,
Tiger's mom used to work at Stars. If anybody's familiar with Stars, Tiger's mom worked at Stars. And you know how that dude is
you
half
heard it here first.
yeah.
Yeah.
The funny shit about it, Tiger's half Vietnamese, half black.
Yes.
The dude grew up in Gardena.
Right.
Good kid. Good kid. Had a fucking nice fucking jump shot and playing basketball. He's one of the first people that actually down there broke my fucking ankles, like in every sense of the term of the word. Like he literally crossed me up and I hit the ground and everybody like, oh, I got up. I'm getting ready to fire on this fool just for the embarrassment.
And
And
that
he's
was
walking around
Tiger.
doing this shit. Yeah, Tiger. He's running around doing this. I swear to God. And when he's getting closer to me, I said, Mike, you get close to my face, I swear to God, I'm gonna punch you in your fucking mouth. And then he looks at me, he's like, all right, cuz. And he fucking walks away, you know what I mean? And then it turned into, don't cuss me. But that was
You
Tiger.
was mad.
I was mad as fuck.
Yeah.
I was mad as fuck. And,
Ah, man.
you know what I mean? And me being around them, because like I said, I always been big on sports. And
Mm.
me just, being around them, these motherfuckers ain't playing they ain't even playing soccer. You know
They
what I
not
mean?
doing.
These
They
dudes are
not
just,
playing
they ain't
nothing.
doing shit. They're just standing in the cut trying to look tough with their bald heads and shit. You know what I mean? I have a funny ass shake head, so you know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then on top of that, there was a few times with like my probation caseworker, they were going up there to check on me, just to see if this dude, because my case was a little, my case was a little worse. They looked at me like I was like severely like emotionally disturbed type of shit.
Right.
Like, they made it seem like I got raped by my parents or that I used to get the shit beat out of me, which was fucking false. But
right.
These, they used to send a caseworker up to the school just to check on me. You know what I mean? And one of the girls up there, when they asked her, like, hey, what exactly are you? She's like, oh, I'm his caseworker. And then he was like, oh, is he like a foster kid? He was like, nah, he's just on probation. We're trying to figure out if we should fucking let him off or we should just fucking hit him with the book. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, word got around, like, this little motherfucker's, he's a little crazy. Like, he's right. a little active. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's when, they started, like, people started asking questions and the girls got, I had the girls' attention a little more and shit. And like I said, at the time, I was already about my money. So, I at the time, Sean John was fucking cracking. Rockaware with the shit. You know what I mean? I had that. Air Forces, all that shit. I had it. And my parents weren't buying it. I was like the movie Notorious. How Biggie made waiting for his mom to leave. Yeah. And then he'll go upstairs and then change his clothes and grab the burner. Even the pistol shit. No, that was me, 100%.
100%.
You know what I mean? So as soon as I fucking leave to the front, go catch the bus. I made sure my mom wasn't watching, nobody was around, and there was a little hallway right there, like the little boiler room. I had all my shit in there, so get dressed up really quick and shit, and take off. So I was a little fly motherfucker. You know what I mean? I was fly. You know what I mean? And my dad used to always tell me, "Shit, your appearance is everything. Like your appearance is everything." You know what I mean? And that's like I said. I told you before. Like me and my pops never really had like the best relationship in the world. Mm-hmm. But some of the few things that he taught me. You know what I mean? He told me, like,
you learned it. You understood it.
He told me before. It's like, you could be fucking dressed in diamond from head to toe and you can still look like a fucking bum.
Still look like a bum.
Yeah. So it was like, you know what? It's all about how you carry yourself.
Right.
And at school, you know what I mean? I'm walking with a little limp and shit, like a little pimp limp, gangster limp. You know what I mean? I got fly clothes. These girls, they're attracted to me either by the flyness or the looks,
whatever it is, they attracted.
Yeah, that little gangster image type shit. And so they're looking at me like, that's a real one right there. Like, not you motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were the ones getting attacked during the little racial riots and shit. They're the one. They're the victims. You know what I mean?
Now, how did you deal with that? Because. So I'm assuming was that 1 year your senior year at Gardena?
That's my 1 year, and it went down, and I got a scar in my head from the shit too.
Damn! How did you?
I don't know if you can see it, but I got a scar up here from getting jumped by four black dudes inside class. And they caught themselves claiming 40. They were claiming 40 Crip and shit. But I fuck with the 40s. I got only for 40s, but the dudes out there, they're little wannabes for 40s. And. Yeah.
Now, how did you have to deal with that? Like that, that's because how did you deal with that? Because you got a race ride, but then you still cool with something black. So how is that?
To be honest, like the people I hung out with, they were all pretty much like the I don't want to say the social rejects. But they were like pretty much like Bob Marley said, we were like the stones that the building refused type of shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that school was low-key cliquish. You know what I mean? It was like at that time, they're talking about 05. 04 going to 05.
Right.
And that school was very cliquish. You know what I mean? So obviously all the transfers that were claiming Hoover, obviously they're hanging together. And a couple little dudes here and there, they're claiming Pyru. Like there was like a lot of dudes in there claiming Centerview Pyru and shit. Carson. Mm-hmm. They have their own little place. And you had the Gardena people, the shotguns and paybacks that hung together, and then the Mexicans. Mm-hmm. And then you had me and the homies I hung out with. You know what I mean? Like some of these dudes are from Compton. But they're all essays. They're all Mexican.
Okay.
Some dudes are from Compton. There was 2 or 3 from that kid that I told you about. They ended up taking that case. Like he lived in Silver Lake, and that's damn near downtown. Well, that's downtown LA.
Right.
So I'm hanging with them. And we're pretty much to the point where these Mexicans don't like us one bit. You know what I mean? They didn't like me because they thought that I was another reason why they didn't like me. They didn't like me because they thought, you know, me being from Torrance, you know, they're Gardena 13's worst enemies. Without getting too much into the gang politics, but their worst enemies is another hood in Torrance called T-Flats.
I understood.
And,
okay.
Yeah, and they're in Torrance. Yep. We're in Torrance, but we're not friends at all whatsoever.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's you know, years and years of bloodshed between my neighborhood and their neighborhood.
Right.
But just for the simple fact that I'm from Torrance, you know what I mean? They thought that I was somewhat affiliated with them, which was not the fucking truth. It was the complete opposite. And so for the most part, like, these dudes just didn't like me for being fly, for being cool with the brothers.
Uh-huh.
And they also think there's some sort of affiliation. And once they, you know, I guess they ask questions, they're like, nah, they don't fuck with each other. Oh, nah, that's from Torrance, fuck him too.
So they was just, you know, pretty much hating on you, sound like.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what it sounded like. Yeah.
So when the shit went down, it was like, why the fuck are we gonna fucking back up these people? They don't even like us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They dislike us to the full extent. You know what I mean? So when the shit went down, they had a little crew up there. It was called the Wise Guys. And it was just a little combination of a little bit of everything. You know, the dudes from the Hoovers and some dudes from Hoovers.
Like a clique.
Like a clique, yeah, definitely. And it's crazy because a lot of those dudes ended up being part of the original Black Wall Street. You know what I mean? They were connected. That's what I'm saying. They were connected. So these dudes were the ones that were beefing it with the Mexicans, with the Mexican little gangbangers. It wasn't just Mexican on black. It was the Mexican gangs versus these black gang members.
The black gang members. So it was gang. Okay.
It was definitely gang related. You know what I mean? It was all gang related. And long story short, you know, when the shit went down, one of the dudes that they call them shit, you know, no disrespect to my crib homies, well, they call him CK Face. And he was from Centerville, Peru. And me and him was always real tight. And he walks up where we were at, and he was like, hey, blood, let me holler at you real quick, Rue. And I'm like, what up? And then I walk into, he's like, no, let me holler at you in the bathroom. And I'm like,
huh? Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
So I go in there, and I'm like, and there's his homies are in there. I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers want to jump me? And that dude starts laughing, and they all start laughing. See, that's why I fuck with this nigga. This nigga, that's why I fuck with this nigga. This is the real nigga right here. Yeah. And I'm like, and I'm still right there, like in the boxer stands, like, come on, who wants it? Who wants it? You know what I mean? And the dude was like, blood, chill the fuck out, blood. Look, I'm Peru. Nigga, we about to fucking let loose on these fucking essays right now, nigga. So you don't gotta be with us. Yeah. He was like, you don't gotta be with us, blood. But you and your niggas, y'all need to fucking just shake the fucking spot. Go find somewhere to kick it at until this shit is done, blood. I'm Peru. And I'm like, seriously? He was like, nigga, I ain't playing, blood. I fucks with you, homie. He was like, I fucks with you. But when the shit goes down, nigga, you Mexican. You an essay.
Right.
And I'm like, so I went and told the homies, like, hey, it's about to go down right now. He was like, so what do we do? I'm like, let's fucking go hit the fucking PE field. Who got a blunt? You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, that school was, like I said, that school was the Thunderdome and shit. And there was a lot of dudes up there that was, you know, selling their shit. You know what I mean? And I went and got like 2 or 3 blunts and shit. I got like fucking 4 for $10 and shit. And we were like, shit, let's go get high. Let's go ride this wave out. You know what I mean? So we in the fucking field, we hearing yelling and screaming and all that type of shit. And we over there like, here you go.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
I got 5 of it.
Yeah, exactly. And we right there in the cut just fucking, I've never, up to that point, I have never been that fucking high. But I was like, shit, you know, and I'm thinking in my head, because I already been through the bullshit. And I'm thinking in my head, like, how am I going to make it home today? Like, should I call my sister or should I just catch the bus? Like, how the fuck am I going to be able to get out of this today? Helicopters flying around and shit. Cops are all over the fucking place. You know what I mean? So I'm like, shit. So, you know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I'm going to get out of this shit. You know what I mean? So finally, you know, when the shit went down, everything stopped. You know, that's when I seen the same dudes that kicked it off. And the homie was like, I'm like, what up? He was like, hey, be careful, homie, because I just, you know, one of the homegirls just overheard them essays talking about fucking you and your homies up. And I'm like, for what? And then he was like, because y'all didn't participate. And I was like, shit, we ain't in fucking prison. The fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't in prison. You know, but that right there just turned into more hatred towards me. No, not even me. I don't want to just say me, but me and the people I was hanging out with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when that shit was said and done, you know, like, and it was like a minor fucking fight. It was more of a crew on crew type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But and then when it came down to me getting this little beautiful little scar in my head that is never going away,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I happened to be in class, and this is right before Cinco de Mayo. You know, Cinco de Mayo and shit. And that's the one originally the shit used to go down.
Damn.
And then this dude in there, he some hunger in there, she got up and snatched his pencil that he had taken from her. And then this one was nodding off and shit. So when she went and grabbed the pencil, I don't know if she startled him or whatever the case might have been. But he jumps up and he was like, "What the fuck's your problem, bitch?" You know, and she's like, "Man, calm the fuck down. You took my pencil." "Nah, bitch, that's my fucking pencil. You fucking beat her, bitch."
Oh.
And I'm like, damn. And then I was cool with him. You know what I mean? And he was claiming 40 Crip. Mm-hmm. And I was cool with him because I was locked up with two of his homies with Baby J Rock and Tiny Time Bomb from 40 Crip. You know, shout out to my homies. You know, they free now.
Right.
And I get up and he's like, "Man, watch, you fucking beaner motherfuckers. I'm Cinco de Mayo, swear to God, I'm gonna fuck all you fucking beaners up." And I was like, "Hey, dude, shut the fuck up." He was like, "Nah, you cool, homie, but these motherfucking beaner bitches." And I'm like, "Dude, shut the fuck up." And then he was like, "Cub, me, you was cool, tragedy, we cool, nigga, but shut the fuck up, mind your business." And I'm like, "Dude, you say that beaner one more time, homie." And he just like, "Man, like I said, you beat," and I got up
and it just went crazy.
Yeah, so I got off and took off on him and just general principle. And once that happened, his homies jumped on me automatically. And when they were over there trying to rush me, you know, I ended up getting pushed backwards. I hit the corner of the table and shit, I blacked out. I was basically knocked out for like a good 5 to 10 seconds. So whatever ass whooping they gave me, I didn't even feel it. I didn't even see it. I'm knocked out. Yeah.
Damn.
And there were these fucking off-brand dudes up there and shit. I mean, they were supposedly claiming 20 Bloods or whatever. There were Samoan dudes. And they're the ones that kind of got them off of me and shit. But, you know, they got them off of me, and all these dudes ended up getting, you know, kicked out of school, and I had to go get staples and shit, you know, and, you know, they pressed charges against them, you know, and they trying to get me to go to court and all that stuff. And one of their the main dude that set it off, his probation officer called me, and his PO called me up or whatever and was like, "Hey, you know, we're getting ready to go to court. I know you're on probation. I already spoke to your probation officer. You're a victim. Don't think that you're going to get violated." I was like, "I ain't no fucking victim. I'm a gangster." You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
You know, there's some gangster shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just some shit that happened. Yeah. This regular street shit.
Regular street shit. You know what I mean? And he's like, "Yeah, so we just want to know if you're going to press charges. You know, you want to press charges because you are entitled because, you know, they did attack you. And it's like, and you are a victim." And I'm like, "I'm not a fucking victim. I'm a fucking gang member." So I was like, "You know what?" I told him, "You know what? No, I don't want to press charges." My mom's right there like, "What? No, you know, why not?" And I'm like, "You know what? This is a fucking misunderstanding. That guy, you know, me and him were friends. We were already friends. We just got into a heated argument. You know what I mean? It turned into a fight. His friends did what they were supposed to do and defend him because I was beating his fucking ass."
Right.
And then he was like, "So it's not that serious. You know, we were friends then. You know, at this moment, we're obviously not friends, but I have no ill feelings towards him. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to press charges. None of that shit. Like, I hate that they have to go to jail. Like, I don't like that shit one bit." And then he was like, "Oh, well, we're going to have to get you to come down here and sign some paperwork." Okay, cool, no problem. You know, so actually they came up to the school. Whatever, and they brought the paperwork and they had me sign it saying that I was, you know, fucking rejecting, you know, my rights to press charges. Mm-hmm. You know, so I just signed that shit off, and dudes right there just kind of like, they kind of figured what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And when I came out, they were like, "Okay, well, any message you want to send to the homie?" And I'm like, "Man, tell him I said, you know, I said, what's up? You know, tell him I said, you know, keep it rolling." Mm-hmm. And then he was like, "Keep it rolling? Is that some sort of gang, you know, whatever, slang or whatever?" Yeah. And then I was like, "Nah, I'm just telling him. It's just an inside thing. Just telling him I said, keep it rolling." Mm-hmm. And I turned around, and all the dude that he was friends with, he was like, "What you say, cuz?" And then right away, it was like, again, "What you motherfuckers want to do?" You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I told him, like, "You know what? Like, I didn't, you know what?" And I talked to that dude face, and I'm like, "I didn't fucking say shit. I didn't do shit on me. You should already know. Like, you already know my get down. Like, I'm real. Like, I don't know about you motherfuckers and shit, what you done, but I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I've done, and you motherfuckers know what I've done. Mm-hmm. So you can forget about me ever fucking, you know, participating in someone's fucking demise type shit. You know what I mean?"
Right.
So from there, you know, like, the dude that I ended up setting it off with, he completely disliked me after that for the simple fact that I got the but he stopped fucking with me. But he was, but he told he ended up knowing, like I said, he was cool with J Rock from J Rock from 40s, and he told him the story. And then later on in life, J Rock saw me. He was like, "Hey, all right, was it you? But you and the homie in school?" And I'm like, "You didn't press charges?" Like, "Yeah, that was me. That's this car right here. Look." You know what I mean? So and that's what kind of got me a little more, like intertwined and shit and connected with like different neighborhoods, because everybody knew that story. Like, not particularly like a gangster. Like he could have easily, fucking put a lot of motherfuckers in jail for that shit. Well, juvenile hall and shit.